Hello everyone, my name is Dusty and I'm still hanging out playing Nintendo. Today I'm continuing my playthrough of Zelda II: The Adventure of Link. I'm going to be doing the Maze Palace, but first I need to get the Reflect spell. So I need to go into the maze and rescue the kidnapped child. I appreciate that bridge for not having any encounters on it. There's some other things to find in this maze area, but I don't remember where they are. I remember where the kidnapped child is. I guess because that's pretty important. It's also in a pretty obvious location. I mean, you would think that the dead ends would have secrets in them. I could explore the rest of the maze, but I'm just going to go get this spell and come back. I could have already done this, but I didn't remember to do it. So now I've got to make a second trip to Darunia. There's not many enemies that are obviously from Legend of Zelda in this game, but these levers are definitely from the original game. I appreciate seeing things like that. I kind of wish Octorok still lived on the land, because I don't know, it just seems like an iconic Legend of Zelda thing to me, and to put them in the water and make them behave like Zoras, I just feel like is not a good idea. And now we've got, of course I don't know how it is now, currently, but the Deku Scrubs are kind of like the Octoroks were on the land. Which is fine, I suppose, but I would rather have Octoroks. I think it's weird. And a lot of the weirdness of Legend of Zelda kind of went away over the years in some ways, and in some ways it got more weird. I think Skyward Sword was probably the weirdest it got. That and Majora's Mask. And then Twilight Princess, while that's one of my favorites, is like the most safe Zelda game out there, in my opinion, with what they did with the enemies. It's very Middle-earth, which is what I love about it. I mean, I absolutely love that about it. I've always wanted a Middle-earth style Legend of Zelda game. So that one definitely scratched that itch. But it just seems like there's not a lot of weird eyeball enemies anymore. There used to be a lot of weird eyeball enemies and sea creatures on the land, things that didn't make any sense. Okay, now I've just got to leave here. I kind of want to avoid this. Yeah, that's good. That's what I want. I guess you'd call it a planned encounter. I want to avoid the planned encounter. I'm going to try to do the same thing here. I'll just go on. This is already taking more time than it would have if I had remembered the order in which to do things. Still going to try to get XP here and there whenever I can. Oh man, I could have done without that. That's a lot of damage. These things will take a lot of life down if you let them. It's just really easy to get hit trying to hit them. They're not that hard, it's just that they've got that shell, and I find the best way to attack them is the down stab. So the safest way. And I'm just cutting through the desert because the encounters in the desert, to me, are just easier to deal with. Everything's on the ground, so I can just downstab everything. Unless I encounter one of the ones with the larger enemies where you have to fight a Zora, but you can just cast fire and shoot them from a distance, so they're pretty easy too. I probably misremembered this because I thought the fire spell had static damage. Like, it didn't matter how leveled up your sword was, the fireball did the same amount of damage. And I noticed that it does increase with your sword, which is cool. I think the reason I never noticed that before is because you get it at a stage in the game where everything has so many hits that it just seems like it's weaker, but it's really just that these enemies take so many hits. That was lucky. So there's either a heart container or a magic container in this maze, but I really just can't remember where it is. I'm gonna hope I run into it, but I don't know exactly where it is. So I'm just kind of wandering around this maze to try to see if I run into it and get some extra XP too. When I was younger and I used to play this, I never would cast fire. I would just bypass all these enemies. And that's really foolishness because this fire spell is very cheap. But I was just like, I want my magic power for the life spell. That's all I wanted it for. Because I wasn't smart enough to realize, well, if you use the fire spell, you probably won't need to use the life spell as much because you won't get hit as much. But I was not a tactician. He just said, nah, you're not good enough. And left. I don't remember if those are actually called Tektites, but even if they're not, those jumping spider things are absolutely Tektites. Just like that's absolutely a Zora. Those of you watching this, if you can see the faces in the stones more clearly now that they're a darker color, leave a comment. I can't be the only one that sees faces in the stones there. Okay, here we go. Oh. Try to downstab that eyeball, and I'll be honest, I tried to make that look cool when I probably could have been cautious. But to be honest, didn't I kind of commit to that jump already? It's probably a little bit of both. I committed to that jump and I wanted it to look cool. I thought, man, it would look really cool if I could bounce off that eyeball and then start fighting the iron knuckle, but nope, didn't happen. So this dungeon has always put me in mind of level 6 in The Legend of Zelda, and it's not just because of the whiz robes, it's because this is the first dungeon I feel is really hardcore difficult. Like, they're all tough, but this one is one of the hardest in the game. And I think what makes it hard is just the... Oh, man. Oh, that's cool. That was an epic fight for what it is. What makes it so hard is you keep having to cast Reflect, and Reflect costs quite a bit of MP, so you end up magic point poor. Ooh, barely made that jump. I could cast Reflect on that, but there's just no reason to, in my opinion. The Whiz Robes can only be defeated by the Reflect spell, but I can kill him without that, so it's a waste. Those hammers that he throws that return like that, the reason I'm being so cautious is as long as those are on the screen, they will continue returning back and forth, even though that guy's dead. You have to let them go off the side of the screen so that stops happening. There's also a lot of pitfalls in this level, and there's lots of ways that you can just get knocked in the pits. So this has got some Ninja Gaiden style level design. That might be an extreme way of describing it, but it's not too far from the truth. I'd like to try to get this bubble, get the XP from it, but I don't think these little running guys are going to leave me alone. Well, it's gone now. He's going to the warp zone. Oh, that's just mean. Ugh. Really needed to keep that magic, but I definitely need it now. I'm gonna fight this guy. He's gonna kill me. I probably should have cast that a minute ago. This isn't going well. I'm gonna die. Oh my god. I don't know how that happened. So I probably mentioned this before, but those boots allow you to walk on the water in certain places. You can't walk on all the water, just there's just like an invisible path that you're able to walk on. I'm Sure would be nice if I got a potion out of this. Nope. So it's just a countdown till I die right here. I have no life. I have no magic. I'm just going to go as far as I can go before something drops me. Ooh. That one almost had my name on it. Or Link's name on it. I don't know about anybody else, but I've always referred to the character on the screen in the first person. Yep. There it is. Alright, well, I don't feel bad about that. This game's not easy, and I'm out of practice. And if I keep getting hit right here, I'm gonna die again. Wow. That was very clumsy. I kind of want to kill him, but I kind of want him to just leave me alone. Yeah, just go. Take off. Yeah, go back down there. Just gonna try to get some XP here as I go. This right here is a pretty treacherous hallway. That's weird. No more of those enemies spawned. Ah, come on. Really? Spawned right on top of me. I feel like the developers knew that these rooms laid out like this with these dog heads were treacherous, and they kept using them. The only reason they're bad is because their spawn origin is random. Well, it's not really random, it's where you're located at the time. And that ends up causing them to just come in at all kinds of weird angles. That's how that's supposed to go. Not perfect, but better than it did the last time I was in one of these rooms. I swear that some of those have potions in them. I promise. I'm not misremembering that. I'm pretty sure I already hit that one, but doesn't hurt to be sure. I feel like there's a lot of really fast-moving bubbles in this palace. I thought I was hit right there. Could have been really bad if I didn't have the magic to get up there. I suppose you could bounce off the bubbles somehow. I don't know how you'd manage that with it being a fast-moving one, but I guess there's a way to do it. I'm sure there's people out there that are really good at doing stuff like that. I'm not one of them. I really need that to be a potion, but it's not. So I'm about to lose another life, is what's happening. I have no magic. Life is very low. See what I mean? That will continue doing that as long as I keep it on the screen. I feel like this never happened to me. I always explore the rooms, but I can see that key being one that people would end up missing, because once you see that pee bag, you're like, oh, that's what's in here. A pee bag. I'll just leave. You wouldn't expect there to be 2 items in this one room. But I've always gotten it. I've never missed it. I'm too thorough. So still haven't gotten anything to drop a potion. Seems like my control pad's sticking a little bit. I can't tell if it's sticking or if it's just this adapter. It's reliable most of the time. Anytime I want to down stab, I'm down. Well, no, I meant to low strike right there. That's not cool. Oh well. I'm gonna keep playing. It's not that bad. I would say what it is I've got my adapter plugged into one of those forward-facing USB ports, and I've always found those to be unreliable. So I need to switch it to one of the USB ports in the back. I need a key. This is a rough room to have to leave back out of to go get a key. It bugs me that I can't just kill those Wizrobes, but I don't have the magic. Ah, there's that death. Okay, one more life. I can still do this. Can you imagine if this game was like the original Legend of Zelda and didn't have 3 lives? This game would be unplayable. I was premature with that. I probably wouldn't have fell. Now I gotta back out. That's some magic points I really would have liked to have kept. I panicked there. I thought I was gonna fall in the lava. I've got 1 life left. This is some Castlevania crap right here. Again, I probably wouldn't have fell. But I don't want to lose that last life. And now I'm pretty much out of magic points and still can't kill the Wizrobes. Great. This is great. I feel like the Wizrobes and the Reflect is just there to teach you about the boss in this palace. I don't know how I didn't get him. I'm slipping because of frustration. Alright, I'm gonna do this thing that I'm not proud of. Alright. That didn't take too awful long. Probably gonna edit some of that out. So I don't feel bad about having to farm for potions. It's just, this game's not easy. Oh man, I almost fell right there. That was close. That guy loves downstabbing as much as I do. I probably should fight this guy out in the open. Yeah, that roof there makes his downstab hard to deal with. I want that pea bag. I'm really close to a level up. There's another one of the... Yep. That should level me up right here. I need that. Yeah, I need to refill my magic. Oh, it's time for the boss. So this boss is pure randomness. The only way to damage it is with reflecting the magic back to it. And it appears at random. And he's hit me quite a bit. I don't know how that one hit me. I was about to have to cast a life spell. But I find that moving around in there doesn't really keep you from getting hit. Usually sitting still is the best way, but I got hit quite a bit there. Oh well, he's dead, I don't care. That palace is down. I couldn't have done it if I didn't farm for potions. That might be a mistake, because 2,500 more, quite a bit. Now I can just walk across this river. I never did find whatever's in this maze hidden. Unless I'm misremembering that there is something there. I remember somebody tells you that there's a heart over the islands. But they're not talking about the maze. They're talking about something you have to walk on the water to get to. Pretty sure there's a heart or a magic potion in the maze, though. I'm probably going to wrap this episode up here shortly. I just kind of want to... I want to get to a town, is one thing I want to do. kill these guys for the XP. Well, I hope you liked hanging out with me on this episode. Join me again next time. I'll be wrapping this up in just a minute. Had a rough time this episode, but I made it. Beat these guys at their own game. Okay, yep, here's this town. Alright, see y'all next time. Come hang out with me again.